Hello there, everybody. My name's Jeebers, and I would like to welcome you to my YouTube channel, or to welcome you on back into the channel. Now, the first thing I would like to do before I talk about what's going to be done in today's video is I would just like to address the elephant in the room. Yes, I have not been uploading consistently as I would have liked to. Just I'm going to be doing a video on it in the coming days, but just as a TLDR, in case you don't really care about watching videos where I'm just talking and not opening up any packs, just the way that the card market is right now with Pokemon in particular, it's just really been killing my motivation to do more content. It is so expensive to get cards, and I don't like to pay more than MSRP because that is what you should be paying for these cards. And so it's just been really hard for me to get anything. The few bits of cards I've been able to pick up here and there, I have had to pay above market or above MSRP, but still below the outrageous market prices. It's been so rough out there, and it's really hard for me to keep buying these cards to rip open on here. Even buying singles, like I there's like a whole bunch of decks I want to build from Journey Together. I'm probably never going to be able to build those decks because the card prices are just so insane. um but yeah, I'm not going to talk too much about that. That's going to be in a video that's going to be coming out later. But yeah, that's the long and short of it. It's just that the card market is just, it's not the best right now. Hopefully things get better, but I'm not very hopeful. But moving on from there, what I'm going to be doing today is I'm going to be opening up this trainer's toolkit that I have here, as I try not to get it in the light that I have. It's like the light just hits it everywhere. So, and we're going to be talking about this a little bit more when we actually get to the opening portion of it. But I know a lot of people are probably looking at this and like, dude, I don't care about that. It's all predetermined cards. And fair enough. There are 4 packs in here, so if you just want to stay for those 4 packs, thanks for stopping by. But yeah, we're gonna be going over the contents of this box, just kind of talking about some stuff, talking about some of the staples that you can get in here, and if you are looking into getting into the game, this is actually a really good tool to get you to get into the game because it has all the staples that you're gonna need for this format that we're in. And so that's kind of something that we're going to be talking about here. So without further ado, though, let's go ahead and go over to the opening section, and I'll see you there. Alrighty, and welcome back in to the next portion of this, where we're going to be opening up the Trainer's Toolbox. Got my handy dandy little knife here, so let's just go ahead and that. Hopefully I didn't damage anything. So yeah, if you are looking to get into the game, this is a really good tool to do so with. As you can see here, this little play level indicates like what skill level you should be looking at when getting into the game. So this is a play level 3. So this is once you've got to play around with the game a little bit, get some of those other battle decks and whatnot. And there's a cat coming over. Of course he is. Once you try out some of those other battle decks and whatnot, this is a good tool to use to do some more deck construction. And so these aren't necessarily, I keep hitting my camera. These aren't necessarily collectors' things, but it doesn't mean that collectors can't still use them. So we have here our bunch of staples. We have that handy dandy code card. We got our packs. So what we got here is we have a Stellar Crown pack, Twilight Masquerade, Temporal Forces, and a backwards Stellar Crown. And we got our dice, and damage counters, and our poison and burn markers. And then we got some sleeves. Might even use these for any hits that we get. And then this is like just kind of a deck builder's guide to kind of help you out. So as you can see in here, like it talks about what these different cards can do, some different synergies with things. Like this is talking about, because it has a lot of the ancient Pokemon support in here, the staples for that. And it just kind of goes on through everything else. And I just realized that my thing is like super non-focused. That's cute. Well, I guess I don't think I'll be able to do much of technical fixes on here, so I'm just gonna go ahead and move on, and I'll just have to deal with it. Alrighty, so but yeah, that's the toolkit. It just kind of gives you some tips and tricks on what to build with decks, what to use in what decks and whatnot. So this is a really good thing to go through if you are looking to build any, or if you're looking to do any deck construction and whatnot with this kit, which you should be doing with the kit. That's what it is there for. It isn't there for these 4 packs. And also too, this is like a nice little box that you can store your stuff in. It's not the greatest because it is just cardboard, but it's not a bad tool to use for storing cards. You can even store your decks in there because it has like little dividers. So that is rather nice. I gotta straighten this out because a cat jumped up here and made it all sorts of messed up. And he wants to be a star, so he's just crawling more and more over. Alrighty, let's go ahead and get these packs open, though. We're going to do the packs first, because I know that's what a lot of people that are watching this are going to care most about. So, let's go ahead. I'm just going to go straight into the Stella Crown packs, as my cat crawls around more. Please don't try and attack my speakers again. Alrighty. Give you that code card. We got a Diplin. We got a Panseer. Got a Meditite. Clink. Togedemaru. Veluza. Tornadus. A Rhyperior. Zorora. And a Grimmsnarl normal holo with that grass energy there. And give me just a second. Okay, and we are back. I had to kick the cat off of the desk for now because he was attacking things up here, and I can't really record while having him attack my cables. So he climbed to the side and started attacking my cable for my microphone, which would not be good if that went away. Alright, so we got a grass in our second pack. Togedemaru, Veluza, Tornadus, Rhyperior. Hey, look at that. That's an awesome pull. We got the illustration for Bulbasaur. Let's go. That's awesome. And the Iron Boulder behind it. All right, let's you know what? Let's put these sleeves to use. Let's go ahead and open this up and take out one of these nice sleeves from here. These are like the same texture as the ETB sleeves, which I actually do not really care for. Yeah, look at that nice Bulbasaur. That is such a good card. I actually just recently picked up the Venusaur, not the SIR Venusaur, but just a Venusaur card. And so yeah, that'll be pretty nice, having the Bulbasaur to go along with it. Yeah, it's just the Venusaur EX from 151 that I picked up. So there's the code card. Got a Grass Energy, Venipede, Chansey, Dracloak, Poliwhirl, Glalie, Kilowattrel, Brute Bonnet, not the good one, Sunflora, Palafin, and an Okidogi. And we have a cat back up here. Hello there, Lil. Lil. What are you doing? I will be right back again. And we're back. And we have this last pack of Temporal Forces. So I'm going to give it our little slap on the back for good luck. before getting it opened up here. And let's see if we get anything good from this. There's the code card. Psychic Energy, Golett, Elgium, Meltan, Iron Hands, Rescue Board, Sandy Shocks, Ekans, Arbok, and a Macargo. So, nothing really good from these packs. And that's kind of just been my life recently with opening packs. Nothing really that good. I mean, I did get that Bulbasaur. Bulbasaur is pretty amazing. I am super happy about the Bulbasaur. Just would have liked, again, I'm not really looking for hits. More so, I'm looking for playable cards. That rescue board is good, though. So next up, we're going to be going on to this little box here, or this little pack of predetermined cards. And I always hate these little things because I can never get these things, these little tabs to pull off properly. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and just start it out with taking off the 2 Squawkabilly EXs. We're going to put those in card protectors. Can't have those getting jacked up. That's the one good thing about not getting too many hits, is I didn't have to use up too many of these card protectors. And by too many hits, I mean I literally only got one. Again, it's mostly just like I'm looking for playable cards. Not necessarily that I'm looking for the, like, the SIRs or anything like that. Like, mostly what I'm looking for when I'm opening up these packs as, like, hits, is I'm looking for EXs, I'm looking for, you know, playable rares, like the Stellar Crown, I was hoping for a Noctowl, just stuff like that. I'm not, like, you know, opening up every pack and thinking, like, you know, oh, I'm going to get a an SIR Terapagos, you know. So, alrighty, so, time to get in here, and I'm actually going to zoom in just a little bit, just so that way we can try and read what these cards say. So basically what you want with Squawkabilly EX is it's really only a Pokemon that you want to get on your first turn. And so what you're looking to do with this card is you discard your hand and you draw 6 cards. This, much like, you know, if you run Professor's Research, if you don't have a hand to discard, this is a really good card. And even if you do have a hand to discard, sometimes there's decks that like that, like the Ancient decks. They tend to like cards in their discard pile. So if you're running a deck like that, or if you're just running a deck where there's a lot of recursion, it might not necessarily hurt you to have your stuff thrown in the discard. And so Squawkabilly EX works really good with that. Because, I mean, if you think about it, you play your 7 cards, or, you know, however many cards in your hand, and then you get a whole nother group of 6 cards. It is a really good card. Just the only thing is with that Squawk and Seize, it can only be used during your first turn. So if you get this on turn 2, it's useless. You need to have it on your first turn. So that does mean if you go second in the game, you can still use Squawkabilly EX, but you can't use it, you know, if you go first, and then your opponent goes, and it comes back to you, and then you try and use Squawk and Seize. That's not how it works. So, really great card, really good staple. All these are good staples. I don't know why I covered up the Bulbasaur. I'll leave the Bulbasaur right there. We'll put the Squawkabillies right there. These are all really good staples, but like that's like most decks want to run Squawkabilly. Alright, then we got a Sada's Vitality and a Professor's Churro scenario. So the way that Sada's Vitality works, for one, you kind of need this in like any ancient deck. So like Raging Bolt, Ancient Box, Roaring Moon. You need to run this. You cannot run an ancient deck without Sada's Vitality. It is just a necessary card in there. So what it does is you get to accelerate 2 energies from your discard pile onto your benched ancient Pokemon in any way that you like, and then after you do that, you draw 3 cards. And that's why it's like this is 100% necessary. You get to accelerate your energy out, you know, so you get to attach 2 energy cards per turn instead of 1, and then you also get to draw cards on top of it. So it's your draw engine as well as an energy acceleration engine. Next up, we got Professor Turo's Scenario. So the way Turo's Scenario works is you just get to pick up one of your Pokemon in play, add it to your hand, and then you discard all the cards that are attached to it. Really good if you're running a deck where you want to keep recurring those Pokemon. Like, let's say you're running a Charizard EX deck, you have a Charmeleon on the bench, you can pick up, and your Charizard EX is about to get knocked out. You can Turos to pick it up, and then evolve that Charmeleon and promote it, and then, you know, start attacking with that new Charizard that's fully healed. It's almost like a full heal for your Pokemon cards. So really good card. A lot of decks. This is a deck that's not even good in it is good in future decks, but it's not only good in future decks. It is good in so many decks. Next up, we got 2 Ultra Ball. Oh, well, these are all out of order. Let me try and put these in order real fast. So we will be right back. Alrighty, and we are back. So as you can see, I have a Pokemon on the front. That is because, yeah, you do get some more Pokemon in here. So we have Tatsugiri. Tatsugiri is a really good card. It's what you would like to call a supporter Pokemon. So this Pokemon isn't ever going to be attacking, but what you do want to use is that attract customers. And what that ability is going to do is it allows you to look at the top 6 cards of your deck, and then you get to reveal the supporter and then put that card into your hand. Very good card, especially to have on turn 1 if you're going second, because you can use that attract customers and then use that supporter the same exact turn. But if you're not going first, or if you're not going second, you could use it going first to set up for your turn, for your first turn after the opponent goes, assuming that you don't get Iono'd. We will talk about Iono a little bit later on in the video, but yeah, Tatsugiri, a very good support card. Next up, we got Ditto. This is a card that also only works if you're going first. So the way that this works, once again, you're not going to be doing that attack. What you're going to be using with this Ditto, if you're going first, you're going to swap out the Ditto for a basic Pokemon that's in your deck. It could be any basic Pokemon. It does not need to be just a normal basic, so it could be your Squawkabilly EX even if you wanted. You could swap out the Ditto for the Squawkabilly and then Squawkin' Seas, for instance. Really good card, but once again, it's a kind of a dead card in your hand if you don't draw it turn 1. Unlike the Tatsugiri, a lot of decks actually do run the Tatsugiri, and more are actually going to start running them now that rotation has happened. Well, rotation is going to happen. Ditto is a card I don't really see getting played that much, however. It is just not too powerful of a card. And also, too, I would also like to just point out, this is the min rarity of, like, as you can, I don't know if you can actually really see too much, but, like, there's a little star right there. Well, that is because Ditto is it's supposed to be a holo rare. But we don't have a holo rare of it. None of these are holos except for the Squawkabilly. So, just kind of interesting. I thought that was just a little interesting there. So, moving on, we have Explorer's Guidance. Really good in Ancient Box decks. Not really good in anything else. Although, I have been seeing a few Gardevoir decks run it. Now that a lot of the cards that Gardevoir wants to use to get rid of energies have rotated out. But again, just not really that good for any decks other than Ancient decks. What the card does, you look at your top 6 cards of your deck, choose 2 of those cards, and you discard the rest of them. So again, really good for Ancient decks. You want to get those energies in the discard pile. You want to get those Ancient Pokemon in the discard pile. You want to get those Ancient Trainers in the discard pile. And so this is really good at helping you do that, especially with Pokestop rotating out. Then we got Lana's Aid. This lets you put any 3 combination of Pokemon that don't have a rule box and a basic energy card from your discard pile into your hand. So that means you can't recycle EX Pokemon, but if you're running a lot of single prize attackers, so like let's say, or even like let's say you're playing a Chi and Pow deck and someone knocks out your Baxcalibur, you can Lana's Aid, bring it back, put it back on the bench. You can also recycle those basic energies. It's a pretty decent card in that regard. I think it's going to start seeing a lot more play once again now that a lot of the trainers and stuff from the Sword and Shield era are going to be rotating out. I could see a lot more cards running Lana's Aid. Moving on to Arvin. This is like probably one of the biggest staples. And as you can see too, with most of these cards, you're getting 2 ofs. In order to have a playset, you need to run 4 of. So it's not the most ideal, but it is a step in the right direction. So if you already have some of these cards, you can run, you just, get the 2 to complete the set. Or maybe you only want to run 3 in a deck, for instance. And you already have 1. Or you only want to run 2 in a deck. This is a really good way for you to get those staples, at least at 2 ofs. Because having 2 Arvins is better than having 0 Arvins in a deck. But yeah, so the way Arvin works is you search your deck for a Pokemon tool and an item card, add those to your hand, then shuffle your deck. You don't need to get both of them. You can only get, if you want, you can only get a tool, only get an item card, but you can only get 1 of each of those. So if you don't get a tool, you can't get 2 item cards, and vice versa. Very good deck, a very good card, especially if you are running tool cards in your deck. I've even seen decks that don't run tool cards run Arvin because it's just such a good card. You get to search on an item card. Next up, we got Iono. I kind of talked about this a little bit earlier. This is really good for hand disruption. It can also be good for you too. Basically, what you do is you shuffle your hand, put it at the bottom of your deck, and if you do that, you get to draw as many cards as you do prize cards. Now, keep in mind that it says if you shuffle your hand and put it at the bottom of your deck, then you can do that. If you don't have a hand, you can't shuffle it and put it at the bottom of the deck. Therefore, you cannot draw your prize cards. So just keep that in mind. You do need to at least have 1 card left in your hand if you are going to Iono. And also keep in mind too, your opponent does the same thing. So you could be getting rid of your opponent's horrible hand and giving them a great hand. Or you could be getting rid of their great hand and giving them a horrible hand. Either or. Next up, we got Boss's Order. This is probably one of the best supporters. You can swap out your opponent's active with one of their bench Pokemon using this card. A lot of times you can just wrap up games with this. It is such a strong card. And not much more needs to be said about that. We got the Professor's Research. I kind of touched on this a little bit when I was talking about the Squawk ability. Professor's Research, you discard your hand, then you draw 7 cards. Just such a powerful card. You're basically getting a whole new starting hand. If you're going second and your starting hand is horrible, you can Professor's Research to get a new one. Or, you could even Squawk ability, Squawk and Seize, and then after that, Professor's Research. So you've gone through, what would that be? 20 cards, a third of your deck in 1 turn. Like, that is just, it's such a good card. Drawing cards is always incredible. And if you really want to think about it, like, yes, discarding your hand is a steep cost, but once again, if you don't have a hand, you can still play that card. If you only have 1 card in your hand, you're discarding 1 card to draw 7. That is crazy value. Next up, we got Superior Energy Retrieval. So that's the last of our supporters. We're going to be moving on to our item cards now. So the first item card that we have is Superior Energy Retrieval. What you do with this one is you discard 2 cards from your hand, and then you put 4 basic energies from your discard pile into your hand. It is a really good tool for recurring energy. Most decks don't really run it. You're mainly looking at your Goldengos, your Chien Paos. Trying to think of any other decks that would run it. I don't think any other deck would really run it, because most other decks have other ways to recur energy. So those are really the only 2 that I can think of. If you can think of another one, feel free to put down in the comments below. We have Techno Radar. This is really good for future decks. In fact, if you're running a future deck box, you kind of need to run 4 of with Techno Radar. What you're looking to do with this is you discard a card, and then you get to play 2 future Pokemon from your deck. Or you add them from your deck to your hand, and then you can bench them, or you can just hold them in your hand. Really good card. It makes the deck so consistent when you can just, get them out of your deck as quickly as possible. There is no once per turn clause on this or anything. It is an item card, so you can use 4 of these in a turn if you want. Get 8 Pokemon, get 8 future Pokemon. It is such a good card, especially for that future deck. And you know what? The Future Box deck, I believe, is actually going to be coming back in with rotation. There has been some deck lists in Japan that have been doing pretty well that have the Future Box. So look forward to that. And, you know, if you want to build it, you can pick this up and get your Techno Radars. Or you could just buy them if that's all you need. Probably be cheaper than this. Next up, we got Earthen Vessel. This is a deck that is played in so many, or this is a deck. This is a card that's played in so many decks, not just ancient decks. What you do is you discard a card from your hand, and then you can search up to 2 basic energies and place them into your hand. It is a very good card for if you need to get energies out. So like, let's say if you have no energies in your hand, or maybe you just need 2 different types of energies. You can Earthen Vessel, get those added to your hand, and then, you know, play one this turn, play the next one the next turn, or maybe you have like a Teal Mask Ogre-Pond, so you can play multiple energies in a turn. It is such a good card when that is what you're looking to do, is get a lot of energies, accelerate energies from your deck into your hand. Next, we got Switch. This is a very simple card. Most decks do run at least like 1 or 2 of these. You just switch one of your active Pokemon with one of your bench Pokemon. Very simple. So every Pokemon has a retreat cost too. So if you look here, Squawkabilly's retreat cost is that little star there. Or the colorless energy there. So Switch bypasses that though. That also bypasses the 1 retreat per turn. So you can switch your active, and then you can switch that one into another Pokemon if you want to, or just leave it in the active. Gives you, you know, different options to do. And the reason why you would want to do that, swap your active with one of your bench Pokemon without using Switch, like just doing the retreat, is, let's say, I'm just going to use Chien-Pao as an example again. Let's say you're running Chien-Pao, and Chien-Pao isn't your only attacker. Let's say you have like a Gyarados, right? And your Gyarados is stuck in the active spot without any energies. You can use Switch to swap your Gyarados into Chien-Pao. Chien-Pao has an ability where it can search your deck for 2 water energy, add this water energy to your hand, do the hard retreat for Chien-Pao, put the put the Gyarados back in the active, and then accelerate those energies onto them with Excalibur. That's just an example of a deck interaction where you can use Switch for. Next, we got Nest Balls. What Nest Ball does is you just search your deck for a basic Pokemon. It could be any basic Pokemon, and then you play them onto your bench. Really good. It's a really good it's really good synergy with Squawkabilly or with any of your support Pokemon. You can just Nest Ball, bring them out, throw them onto your bench. Next, we got Ultra Ball. So this is not just for basic Pokemon, but it comes at the cost of discarding 2 cards. So it works very similar to Nest Ball. Well, you also don't need to put the Pokemon on the bench, but you discard 2 cards from your hand, you search any Pokemon in your deck, add them into your hand, and then, you know, you can do whatever you want with them. Like, you know, let's say you're playing a Charizard deck, and you have Charmander on the bench and a Rare Candy in hand. We'll be talking about let's say Charmeleon on the bench, because we're going to be talking about Rare Candy in a little bit. So you have Charmeleon on the bench. You don't have the Charizard. You can Ultra Ball, get the Charizard, evolve the Charmeleon into Charizard, and bam, there you go. Next up, we got Counter Capture. So this is actually really good in decks like the aforementioned Charizard. It's decks where you kind of want to be playing behind for most of the battle as you kind of steamroll ahead. The way this works is if you have more prize cards than your opponent. So if you have 6 prize cards and your opponent has 4, you have more prize cards. Counter Capture is active. If you have 3 prizes and your opponent has 4, Counter Capture is not active because you have less prizes. So it's counting the actual prize cards, because I remember when I was first trying to use this, I thought it was counting how many prizes you've taken. So it's kind of like a, you know, rich get richer type situation. That is not how this card works. It is specifically it is counting the specific cards that you have. And it works very similar to that boss's order, like what we were talking about. You choose one of your opponent's bench Pokemon, you swap it with the active. So, like I said, this could swing games just like boss's order. You know, you can have 2 prize cards left, your opponent can have 1, and they have that Squawkabilly EX on there, because if you look at Squawkabilly, it has 160 HP. You Counter Capture, bring it up, knock it out with your Charizard, and then now you've just won the game because Squawkabilly EX is worth 2 prizes. Next, we got Buddy Buddy Poffin. Buddy Buddy Poffin works with Pokemon like this. Bulbasaur, it's goes off of HP, so it's kind of like an S-Ball, but it grabs 2 basic Pokemon, but only with 70 HP or less. So if you can see that 70 there, those are the Pokemon it's going to grab. Those are mostly going to be your non-Rule Box Pokemon. I don't think I've seen a single Rule Box Pokemon that's less than 70 HP. But still, incredibly good card. Really good for decks like Charizard, Venusaur, although not very many people run Venusaur. You can still use it for that. Basically, when you're looking at making decks, I mean, you can even use it with the Dittos or the Tatsugiris. It's such a versatile card. You can use it to bring out your supporters. You can use it to bring out your cards that you need for your deck, like your Charmanders, your Bulbasaurs, your Squirtles. I believe that Squirtle also has less than 70. Your Dreepies, if you're running a Dragapult deck. All sorts of cards that, where they have 70 HP, you can just, 70 HP or less, you can accelerate them out. Next up, we got the Electric Generator. This is incredibly good for Lightning decks. What it does is you look at your top 5 cards, and then you choose 2 Lightning Energy, and you attach it to your Pokemon any way you like, or up to 2. So if you look at your top 5 cards, and you only have 1 Electric, or 1 Lightning Energy, you can only use 1. But if you get 5 Lightning Energy, you can only use 2. So, very good card for accelerating energies, like what we were talking about before with Sada's. The only downside of it is that you have to shuffle those 5 cards. So, I've definitely had it to where I've done an Electric Generator. And the first card that I see is, so the card I would have drawn the next turn is like a card that I needed right now. And I have no way to get it. And I'm just like, that sucks. Alright, next up we're on to Rare Candy. This is the card I was talking about before. So like, let's say I have Bulbasaur on my bench and I want to evolve it, and I have a Venusaur in hand. I can Rare Candy. It skips Ivysaur and evolves me straight into Venusaur. Very, very powerful card. It makes the Stage 2 decks viable. I don't think that Stage 2 decks would be viable if they did not have Rare Candy. There is there's another card that we will be talking about later on that does kind of help out the Stage 2 decks, but like nothing helps them more than Rare Candy does. We got an Enhanced Hammer. This discards a special energy from your opponent's Pokemon. Very situational card. It could be amazing. It could be a game changer. Like if they have a card like Neo Ever Energy, or any of this, or Jet Energy, or like any of those other types of special energies, this could be a game changer. Only problem is if you're going up against a deck that doesn't run any special energies, this card is kind of a dead card in your hand. So, and Pokemon is not like most other card games where you have a sideboard. There are no sideboards. Anything that you run in your deck, that's it. So, again, Enhanced Hammer could be amazing, or it could be terrible. Bug Catcher set, or Bug Catching set. This is a really good card. Similar to, what was it? The Electric Generator, in that you look at your top 7 cards of your deck. The only difference is you can choose any combination, any 2 combinations of Grass type Pokemon or Grass type energies. You also cannot accelerate the energies using this. So it's not like if you choose 2 Grass type energies, you can attach them to Pokemon. It just adds them to your hand. But still, good way to get energies in your hand if you don't have any. Good way to look for those Grass Pokemon. Just good all-around card. And for our last item card, we have the Super Rod. This allows you to shuffle any 3 energy, or a combination of 3 for energy and or Pokemon back into your hand, or not your hand, into your deck from the discard pile. Most decks run this as a one of. You don't really want multiple Super Rods, but it is such a good recursion tool that it's hard not to run this. Next up, we got 2 rescue boards. Rescue boards are really good, especially for Pokemon like Tatsugiri, Ditto. Basically, if a Pokemon has a retreat cost of 1, it gives them a free retreat cost. And if they have less than 30 HP remaining, then it also gives them a free retreat cost. So very, again, very situational card, but can be extremely good. It's good in like those Dragapult decks. It's good for Tatsugiri, for Ditto, for Squawkabilly. So that way you don't get Pokemon trapped in the active zone, as I almost drop all my cards. So just really powerful equip card. Very powerful, but also very situational. Like I said, most decks actually don't run Rescue Board, but the decks that do, it is so powerful in them. Then we got the Future Booster Energy Capsule and the Ancient Booster Energy Capsule. I'm not going to lie, when I was first playing on TCG Live, I did not realize that there was a difference between these two. Because I was just like, oh, Booster Energy Capsule, grab. There is a difference. There's both a difference in how they work, and then also in those little things right there, Future and Ancient. Don't be like me and read the cards entirely. So Future Energy Capsule is really good. It gives you a free retreat cost on any Pokemon equipped with this, and it also increases their damage by 20. Can get you over those break points, like well, let's say Iron Hands EX wasn't an electric type. It is, but let's just say it wasn't. Amp you very much, does 120 damage. It isn't enough. No, is it 120 or 140? Well, let's just say it's 140. It's not enough to knock out the Squawkabilly. If you equip the Ancient Booster Energy Capsule, since Iron Hands EX is a future Pokemon, this gives him 20 more damage. The Ancient Booster Energy Capsule is a little bit different. It increases the HP by 60, so it makes your Pokemon a little bit more tankier, and they cannot have special conditions applied to them. They can't be poisoned. Actually, I'm actually not sure if this would work, because not being able to attack multiple times in a row technically is a special condition. So would this work with that? I'm not sure if that would work, but it does make me want to try it now in TCG Live. I might try it later and then let you guys know how it works. And the last tool items or tool trainer cards that we have are TM Evolution. This is the other way that I was talking about that you can get out your stage 2s. Though if you're running a Charizard deck, you do not want to use this to get your Charizard, because if you do, you will miss timing on Infernal Rain, because it has to be used when evolving from your hand onto your active Pokemon, or not your active Pokemon, like it's when you're evolving it from your hand, not from your deck, which is what TM Evolution does. Is it drags Pokemon from your deck to evolve your Pokemon on the bench. Still really powerful card though. It's great in like decks like Dragapult. Gardevoir likes to run it. Any deck that has evolution, it's such a good card to start out with on turn 1, because you can turn 1, equip an energy. Well, if you're going second, turn 1. And then you can evolve your Pokemon on your bench, because you don't need to wait a turn before you evolve Pokemon using TM Evolution. Next, we have the 2 energies that comes in here. So we have the Reversal Energy, which I didn't even know that this was a thing until this. I've probably pulled a Reversal Energy, but yeah, I did not realize it. So the way this energy works is when it's attached to a Pokemon, it counts as colorless energy. Though, if you have more prize cards remaining than your opponent, it's very similar to Counter Capture. And this is attached to an evolution Pokemon that isn't a Roblox, which is the Pokemon EXs or the Pokemon Vs, which those Vs are no longer going to be in the format. Then it provides every energy and provides 3 energy at once. So very situational card. Can be good in certain decks, can be good in certain situations. So like if you're running a single prize attacker deck, this is 3 energy if you are behind. But honestly, again, it's very situational, but can be an amazing card. And then you have Jet Energy. The way that Jet Energy works is it works very similar to the Switch card before, where you equip this to your Pokemon, and if it's on your bench, it moves them to the active. And that is it. That is all we got from our Trainer's Toolbox. Hopefully you guys did enjoy that video. I'm sorry that, once again, I'm sorry that I haven't really been uploading videos recently, but that will hopefully be changing soon. I do have some packs that I need to start opening, so we will hopefully be getting back into that. And if you guys did like that, like the video, make sure you hit that like button, hit the subscribe button to see more videos like this as I stumble over all my words. And I will see you guys all in the next video. And also, sorry for no face cam still. I will be doing face cam eventually. Just at the moment, I don't really have things set up for face cam. But I will see you guys all on the next video. Thank you all for watching, and make sure you leave down in comments if you have any other questions or concerns about how to build decks. But until then, I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.